guys, you're watching Play Replay with Async. On this show, I wanted to talk about Mario and basically everything to do with Mario that I've experienced, that I've enjoyed about the Mario franchise. Mostly the 3D games or whatever, but it's going to be a mixture of everything. And later on and near the end, I'll get to the movie and the stuff that I think about what's coming up with the movie. I've talked about the Mario movie before, but we recently got the final Mario trailer, and that's just something I want to talk about, and just talk about the Mario universe in general, including the Mario Studio, the Universal Studios Mario or Nintendo World or whatever that they have for the theme park. So there's a lot of Mario in this, and I'm hoping there's a lot of Mario fans out there, considering that this is going to be a pretty popular character after the movie comes out, I think. So anyway, that being said, let's start the show. Hi guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to ask you to please hit that subscribe button and like it and share it if you enjoy what I'm doing here. It helps out my channel greatly. And you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm also on Rumble. So if you're looking for me, you can also find that information in the descriptions of most of my videos on YouTube. So thank you for watching. So first of all, I want to talk about my favorite games that I've played of Mario. Now, I probably have different views on what my favorite games are over your favorite games per se, but you know, everybody's different. We all have different opinions, different views, and what we like are different things, you know. So I'm just gonna kind of go through a list. This is not in some kind of a like top 10 order or whatever, top, you know, order. So these are not in some kind of a order of how I love them or whatever, but I'll start with just Super Mario All-Stars. That was something I had on the Super Nintendo when I was young, and that was really something that I enjoyed because it basically took all of the Mario Brother games at the time that were like Mario 1, 2, and 3 and all that stuff, I think. And then they kind of just put them all together into one little package, which is very cool for something at the time. I don't think that was kind of unheard of at the time. A lot of companies weren't doing that, really, taking all of their main titles or like and putting their sequels and everything and putting them onto one, well, cartridge at the time anyway, and releasing it as one set basically. So that was really cool, and I used to play that a lot, and my mom even loved to play that game. So yeah, that was really the Mario stuff. That kind of sums up where Mario came from, really. And then from there, I went to Nintendo 64, because when we got a Nintendo 64, of course, the first thing you're going to buy is Super Mario 64. Now, a lot of people probably bought other games, but that was one of the first games that we got. And then after that, we got a GameCube later. Well, I did when I was working and I was living somewhere else. I got a GameCube and I had Mario Sunshine. Great game. That is just that's still a classic to me. Actually, I think I like that more than All-Stars and all that stuff. I know that's horrible, but I just love that game. You could squirt, you know, the ink, or squirt the water on everything, and it's just cool. And you can go underwater, and it's all three-dimensional, and you could just the worlds that they had, it was all three-dimensional. It was so cool. I just enjoyed that environment. There was some crazy little spots where I didn't really like it, like that ghost, whatever, haunted ghost place or whatever, castle or whatever. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I haven't played the game in years, so I'm not really up on what it's like now. But I do know that it came out in like a box set type of thing for the Switch recently or not too long ago. And they had Mario Galaxy and 64, and then they had Mario Sunshine, and they remastered these things and everything, which is cool. Of course, I don't have a Switch, so I didn't play that, so that's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, that was something. And then I'll move on to the Nintendo 3DS, because I had one of those for a short time too, And of course, I had Super Mario Land for the 3DS, and that is still one of my favorite Mario games. I didn't really play with a 3D, but you could switch that 3D on, and you could kind of turn the thing, and you can kind of do stuff. It was fun. That was a fun game. That was really great. And then I got a Nintendo Wii U because I didn't have a Wii. I never got a Wii. So I didn't play the Galaxy games, Mario Galaxy. So you'll excuse me if I don't know anything about the Galaxy games. I never played them, so I cannot say whether I like them or not on this video because I've never played Galaxy games ever for Mario. So I went right to the Wii U, which was a bad investment because that basically was the most unpopular system that Nintendo had, I think. So basically, as soon as it came out, the games were like dwindling. It was slow moving, like not really getting a lot of steam, and it really never picked up. And then they kind of just, I think they walked away from it, and then they went to the Switch, obviously. But yeah, so I got Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U, and that is a very good Mario game. I wish you could turn the camera like completely around like you could do on like 64 and for like Mario Sunshine, where you could just kind of control the whole camera all the way. But you couldn't really do that on that game as much. But it was fair enough. It was pretty good. That game was pretty good. It was pretty much like the one on the 3DS. So it's just like a more graphical, better version of it, I guess. I don't know. But it was a fun game, and I love that game still to this day. And I'll still play it every now and then. And then I move on to Odyssey for the Switch. Now, I don't have a Switch, but I have played this game a little bit, enough to know that this is my type of game. This is the type of Mario I wish I could. If I had a Switch, this game I would own. So I don't have a Switch, so I can't really say how the game plays out throughout the whole end and everything, but I played a pretty decent chunk of it, enough to feel it out, and I'm like, yes, if I had a Switch, I would own this game. So Odyssey is definitely in there for one of my favorite Mario games, actually. And I'm not sure how I feel about the real world where he's like in New York or whatever the city is or whatever, but with people and stuff, it seems a little weird. But I really like him in the pipe worlds and all that stuff, and in the Mario world or whatever with Bowser and all that. But whatever, the game is fun. It's just a fun game. There's nothing. I mean, throwing the hat and stuff, and you can bounce off the hat. That's kind of cool too. But yeah, it's one of the best Mario games in like recent technology, making this thing look sharp too. It looks really good. So of course I want to move on to, of course, Mario Kart, because any Mario Kart game pretty much is good. You don't really have to pick one. I know Mario Kart 8 I had for, I think it was 8 for Wii U. I still have it, I could still play it. But anyway, and that's a fun game. And I'm sure they have that on, I think they have that on Switch too. So Mario Kart's always fun. There's never a bad time with Mario Kart. I mean, Mario on the Super Nintendo even was great. I mean, it's always been great. And at 64, I never had it for 64, but I had another game that I kind of wish I had now, and that is Diddy Kart Racing, which is Diddy Kong, Diddy Kong Racing, is it? Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. That was a great game. Me and a couple friends used to play that for like months and months on end, just constantly. They would come over to my house and we used to play this game. It's a great game. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if Nintendo has the rights, because I think that Banjo-Kazooie and those type of characters are another company's. They're like rare characters, and they're in a Nintendo with Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong, so it's kind of a mismatch. But that game was awesome. I loved that game so much, and that was on the 64. That's not really Mario, but it's Mario, like generally kind of close to Mario, I guess, because it was on 64, and it had a Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong in it, and so yeah, whatever. So anyway, that's the games that I really love, and I'm sure that you guys have a whole list too of when it comes to Mario. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of great games for Mario that they love. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of what games you like in the comments. I mean, talk to me. Tell me what ones you like. I mean, we can get these. I mean, I don't really get a lot of comments on these videos, so I'd really like to see some people give their views and thoughts on what they thought of the Mario Kart games and Mario in general games. I mean, so yeah. But moving on, I guess I'll talk about the movie stuff now. The Mario Brothers final trailer released recently, and that just looks great. It looks like I mean, they had like Donkey Kong and Mario like powering up, and then they're like going side-scrolling through a level, and that's really cool looking. Of course, you get more Mario Kart stuff. You get all of the. I think they're giving away too much in the movie now. I feel like. I mean, you get to see like their when they're actually on Earth as plumbers, you know, type of stuff. I think it was in this trailer. Maybe it was I'm mixing up all the trailers. It's kind of blurry for me. I don't know. I'm kind of old, so, you know. But anyway, so the Mario plumber stuff is kind of weird to me, but they're plumbers, so what do you expect? They're going to be plumbers, obviously. So you gotta get, and this is like an origin story, so you're going to get them being plumbers, and then of course they end up in the Mario world or whatever with Peach and all that stuff and Bowser. So, but I'm going to go see this movie, and I just wonder how many people are actually going to see this movie, because I feel like this is going to be one of those movies that everybody's going to see. And I think I've said this before in my other Mario video or whatever, but yeah, I believe that this is going to be probably $1 billion movie, because you have people my generation that were raised in the 80s, 90s, all these people that grew up in all these times when Mario was popular and Mario was a thing. And then you got the generation now. I'm not sure how much they're into Mario, but I imagine he's a pretty popular character. I mean, Mario Kart always does well, and the Mario games tend to do well. So I don't see why this thing wouldn't speak to multiple generations to go see this. So it's like Superman. You know, you'd think you'd have like a bunch of generations of people going to see a Superman movie if it wasn't so dark. It seems like they get pretty dark nowadays. But I think if they just did a classical Superman movie, you'd get multiple generations. Just like Mario, you're going to have multiple generations of people that experienced Mario in different ways throughout the decades or whatever. So I believe that this movie's probably going to do $1 billion. I'm pretty sure about that, because this thing just looks like it's just got. I don't hear anybody talking negative about this. I hear some SJW types online complaining about, oh, Mario's voice, oh my God, his voice is played by a white guy. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's his voice played by a white guy. He's not an Italian guy. I think that's what their complaint is. But, you know, I think the original Mario voice guy, that guy wasn't Italian, I don't think. So, what's the problem here? Okay? You're just complaining. You're just complaining just to complain. I think that people just like to be negative and just not be happy at all. I try not to talk about such negative things on this show. I realize that there are negative things in the world, and I don't want to be negative and talk negative about things all the time either. So that's another thing. But I just kind of want to focus on the things I liked on this show, because that's just what I don't want to. I just hate the negative crap, you know. But then again, I'm not going to stand down if there's social justice crap in movies or whatever, video games and stuff. I'm going to point it out and be honest and truthful about it. So anyway, moving on, the Mario movie is going to do well. There's no doubt. And then with the recent opening of the Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios in California, that's also going to get some people into Mario, I think. So it's going to be like a Disney World almost, as far as I'm concerned. So that's going to be cool. But yeah, I just believe Mario is going to make big money. This thing is going to do well. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, with all the games, all the stuff with the movies, I think they're going to have a franchise with this movie. So that's just the way it goes. I think it's just going to do well, and we're not going to have any problems after this with Mario making a movie. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comment section below. And that's pretty much everything I want to talk about, I guess. So what do you think? You think Mario's going to make $1 billion? You think that, or what games of Mario was your favorite? And obviously, what Mario Kart game do you like the most? I mean, there's other Mario games, but those are the ones that I really focused on because those are really Mario-centric, like, totally. So, like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.